All right, welcome back to another episode of GPPD podcast. Tongue twister. I'm here with my boy Nate and his coffee.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk to my buddy, Officer Bowen. We're gonna say Bowen this go round. So before we get started, it is GrandPrairiePolice.org. I'm about to give the wrong thing. So get online. So we know we have a test coming up, not sure when, possibility in the spring. So go ahead and start on personal history statement because that is very, very thick, bunch of pages. We also need, what do we say, detention?
Detention and communications, yeah.
Yep. So get online.
So even if we're not testing, just
check
out the detention and communication.
Yeah, it's so worth it. All right, so we have my buddy here, Officer Bowen. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Easy peasy, but this is going to be good. So my trainer, I don't even know what phase, but first phase?
Maybe second?
Yeah, maybe second.
It was like first or second.
Yeah.
So y'all had to ride together for how long?
3 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe, something like that.
Yeah. So
This is your ex-boss, basically.
Yeah.
he's always my
He got
boss.
fed good.
Oh, bro, let me tell you something. So we're going to jump right into that. So I'm riding with him, and Bowen is like, hey, let's go up here, stop over here. We're going to take our lunch. And I'm like, okay, cool. Man, when I tell you his wife, she would cook all this food. And I used to tell him, I said, man, tell your wife it's because of her I'm going to put on about 5 pounds. We ate so freaking good.
Yeah, I
Crumbs
think
on the uniform.
Yeah, I think the first night he was with me, she called me and I went by the house and she brought down my lunch.
Yeah.
And she had made homemade beef stroganoff. Mm-hmm. And she asked KD, do you want some? And my wife made KD lunch too. So then she started making muffins and all kinds of sweet stuff. We rode around in the car most of the nights with a plate of muffins between us, and we ate crumbs all over us. Yeah, it was.
You talking about having to clean the squad car every day? It was us every day. I mean, and there was nothing to hear. Whatever our element was. 211. Totally, I'm going in. I'm like, no, bro, you talk. I'm chewing. You talk.
Yeah.
We had some fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we had fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into some of those because we got a couple more stories we have to tell. But before we get started on the stories, tell us how did you end up, I guess, in police work because you're lateral.
Yeah. So growing up, I had no idea I wanted to be. I have no one in my family that's a cop.
Yeah, so you wasn't a 3-year-old like,
No.
I'm going to save.
I mean, I did the cops and robbers and stuff like that as a kid, but I had nobody in my family that was in law enforcement. Grew up in a super small town, 450 people population. My whole school was in one building.
It wasn't a portable building, was it?
Well, for a little bit because our school burned.
I was going to say, I guarantee
A little bit because our school did burn one year.
Oh, okay.
So they redid it. Yeah, so we were in portable buildings one year. So don't make fun of us. We played 6-man football.
It took me, I was 18 when I knew that even existed.
Yeah. We played 6-man football. But growing up there, I ended up graduating and going to college in Stephenville at Tarleton. Tarleton, and that was a metropolis compared to what, it's a population of like 30,000.
Yeah.
So that was like New York City to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
I can only imagine.
Were you traveled like when you were younger? Like, did you get out a lot?
Yeah, we went on vacations. I'd been to California on a vacation, and we traveled places. And my dad, so just kind of go back early on in my life when I was 4, my biological father passed away. Mm-hmm. He was electrocuted on my grandfather's ranch in Derry by accident. It was just pure accidental.
Yeah.
I was with him at the time when it happened. So I saw it all, witnessed it all. So past that, my mom got remarried, and my stepfather was a truck driver. So I would go with him on the road sometimes in the summer and
Yeah.
go to different states and
Did
do
you ever
stuff
pull
like
that cord up there and make the horn?
The horn? Oh, yeah.
See, I hate you already.
Yeah, I did.
I wanted to do
And I will
that.
tell you this also, you don't make the mistake of sticking your hand on the smokestack when you're climbing into the.
Oh, God.
I burned my hands so bad when I was a kid, climbing up into his truck.
He's like, don't touch that. And what do you
Yeah.
do? Shh.
Exactly. Yeah, don't trust it. So I laid in the back of the sleeper and
Yeah.
cried for the entire trip, while I'm
I think we should go to the hospital.
Yeah.
No, you should listen.
Yeah.
like, just
Put
put,
that aloe
some,
vera on
put
there.
some burn cream on it and shut up, kind of one of those things. So anyway, that was basically my early childhood. And then obviously went off to college. And once I graduated, I spent a couple of years doing construction
Yeah.
before I became a police officer. But when I went to school, I was an accounting major.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good with numbers. I'm, not quite like the Rain Man when it comes to,
Well, I don't know.
but I'm good with numbers.
Like you don't have to have somebody walk around with you all the time?
Yeah, so like I literally, but it was boring, super boring.
Yeah.
So then I realized I don't want to do this, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So the old criminal justice major, and then the rest is history. I got hired on in Stephenville in 2002,
Yeah.
and in October of
Yeah.
02, and then I spent nearly 12 years there before I came here.
We must have approached college pretty differently. I mean, obviously, I dropped out, but shut up, Carlos. But like you did your time in Stephenville at school, and then I guess you had positive enough interactions with the cops. You're like, I want to hang out with those guys.
I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be. I was kind of one of those kids that's like, I didn't get in trouble, but I didn't want to be around the cops, right? I didn't have anything against them, just didn't want to be around them.
But that's
because
how we
like
grew
every
up.
kid, you do stuff you're not supposed to do, whatever. Yeah. So you just don't want to be around them. And I really didn't know anybody there. I didn't have any clue who the cops were. And then because I put my own self through the academy because they didn't have their own academy.
What do
Dang,
you
so you
mean?
went to school, graduated school, and then had to put yourself
Yeah,
through
I worked and saved money and then took 3 months off for a summer.
Yeah.
And the summer of 02.
And you paid to go to the police
Yes, I went to
academy.
Weatherford College Police Academy. So it's kind of like a regional academy like Hog would be, but there they don't do their academy, so you just had to come in kind of already certified. So by the time I went there, I'd already done my TCO, or then it was T-close.
Yeah.
But it was,
right.
so I'd already done all that and then got hired
Yeah.
and then spent time there.
So when you were there, were you mainly patrol, or did you get into any other
All
units?
three, pretty much all three aspects. I did patrol, traffic, and CID,
Oh, okay.
and before I came here.
What does CID look like in a college town?
I mean, we had the same stuff, just on a lot smaller scale
Yeah.
that we have here. I mean, we had our robberies, we had drugs, we had sex assaults, we had very few homicides, murders, anything like that. We had a few, but not anything. So, like for each division, like you persons crime, we only had like one detective.
Yeah.
Like I was property, so I was the entire which we had the most of our crimes dealt
of
with
course,
property crimes. So I had a lot of caseload and stuff like that. But I spent 3 years CID, probably spent 2 or 3 years in traffic, not on motors,
Okay.
but just in a car.
Yeah.
So and then
Did
I came
they-
here in 2014, January 2014.
Yeah. Did they have motors?
No, they used to.
Oh, okay.
But they did kind of that same deal where the department gave you a stipend and you bought your own motorcycle. That was before I came along. Arlington does that.
What?
All their motors, yeah. All their motors own their own bikes. They buy them and the department gives them a stipend to pay for it, which is
okay.
weird. It's weird to me.
No, GP, give me a stipend. I won't be on motors. I'm gonna be the first dude with a Yamaha
They give you a
RS.
motorcycle.
Well, but yeah, but the, I think the biggest thing is like some of the guys like from Arlington say that it almost doesn't even cover all the expenses for it
Okay, yeah.
because they're pricey.
Yeah.
I mean, those motorcycles are running, if they're outfitted, the
Yeah.
ones that we have
Yeah.
are, $40,000+,
Dang.
all outfitted.
Golly. And what do y'all drive?
Harley Road Kings.
Okay.
But that's why. Y'all can't get an Indian. What's some of the other
No.
brands? The Vulcan.
BMWs are good, but
Those are popular. Four
yeah,
wheels.
They're expensive.
no, they're cheaper.
Then
They're cheaper than the Harleys.
These are the ones with 2 wheels.
Yeah. The 2-wheel BMWs. They're cheaper than the Harleys. But, I mean, like, Chief says he's big on, like, the traditional style look. So he doesn't want to, I mean, he doesn't
Dude,
want
I
to.
have never.
They're great to work on, but I don't necessarily like the look of them.
yeah.
The Harleys?
The BMWs.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, so I've always kind of wanted to do motors, but like we talked about last time, I'm never going to because my wife would shoot me. But I've never been in traffic, never even applied for it. But I would be so offended personally if they got rid of the Harleys. I don't know why.
I personally like mine. I mean, I love the sound of it. I
Yeah.
like the look of it. It is a traditional look. They're a 1,000-pound motorcycle though, so you get exhausted at the end of the day picking it up off. Picking you just up off the kickstand. It's like constantly picking up. You just, and especially in the summer, you're just like you're zapped.
Would y'all make room for me if I get on a little moped?
I'll put you in a sidecar.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
I'll
dope.
put you in a sidecar. You can run my lidar for me. I'll just put you in a sidecar.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Oh, that'd be dope.
Now, so you were in Stephenville for 11 years.
Yeah, between 11 and 12.
What was the catalyst to make? Because I mean, I'm a lateral, but after that long, that's a big jump to make.
My wife had worked in the Metroplex for several years, driving back and forth. It's like 3 hours a day, hour and a half one way.
Crap.
Yeah.
So, and then our son graduated high school, so it was just a good time to move.
Yeah.
So, and I came here because Grand Prairie's TMRS.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Your
lose any.
retirement
My
transfers.
retirement just transferred. So I've got
Right.
21 years in TMRS, where
That's cool.
some of you guys who came from Dallas or whatnot, the retirement didn't shift over like mine did. So that was one of the factors of me choosing Grand Prairie because they were a TMRS city.
Yeah.
So
So for our listeners, especially the guys that are thinking about making the transition, check into it because every state is different, right? Of course, is the Texas retirement system that we have here, but you have to check into it because I don't know how Cali works. So we have some guys from Colorado.
yeah,
I don't know.
From my understanding on it, I mean, you get your time transfers and you
Okay.
get credit for your time spent, but the money doesn't come.
Yeah.
So like you may have done 5 or 6 years at your department and you get credit for it. TMRS will give you credit for it.
Yeah.
But you haven't put that money in, so your retirement's obviously going to be less when you decide
I know
to leave.
people talk about like buying back their time or whatever. I never looked into it because I don't imagine I'm going to retire. Like I was only there for 4 years, so I don't really imagine 4 years is going to be that big a deal. But
Yeah. I don't know how all that works. I mean,
yeah. So a lot of guys were just saying roll it over into and then you start something else. IRAs, 457, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, look, I'm glad you're here. Wait a minute. Why did you pick GP though? Like you could have went to any other agency.
yeah. So a family friend of my in-laws
Okay.
retired from here.
Oh, okay.
Rick White. It was Rick White. I think he was a chief or he was higher up at some point in time. But anyway, he
I think
recommended.
he lied to you, bro.
Carlos is
No.
Look, I think he just told y'all that, bro. Is
it Rick White? Yeah. Yeah, Rick White.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him,
Yeah.
but he recommended that to so they told me.
Yeah.
And then I got to checking into it, and it just seemed like I didn't want to go to a huge department.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go way north of DFW. I just kind of wanted to be, because I tested at Fort Worth also at the same time, which now I'm glad obviously I didn't get that because it was literally starting over a new retirement.
Oh.
Because they're on their
Oh, they have their own
own,
too?
they've got their own city funded retirement, kind of I think like Dallas does or
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
not TMRS or anything. So put in here, got the job, started.
Yeah.
I mean,
So when you came through the academy, was it the abbreviated kind of like how
8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
8
Yeah.
weeks.
So that's love. Let me expound on that. That's the word of the day. If you come in as a lateral, so number one, they take your years of service, and so that's you just look at the pay scale and you just slide right in. Like that alone, I'm telling you, bro,
Now,
my checks doubled when I
They
came
didn't do that when I came.
Sorry, you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So they based it, when I came here, they based it off the size of your department and the experience you had, which I had a ton of experience.
Yeah.
But Stephenville was a 50 to 60 man department.
Right.
So my pay scale, I mean, I got a pay raise when I came here, but not a lot.
Yeah.
But I was here like 2 years,
And then
they went back and changed it to that deal. So they went back and gave me my 8 or whatever they credit you.
Oh, cool.
So I actually jumped like I think I jumped like 2 pay steps all at once because they went back and they fixed it. But when I started, that's not how they did it. Now that's how they do it now. So you just kind of stroll in
they slide you right in.
which is nice.
Yeah, it is. But I remember Bowen telling me, he was like, on day one, he was like, hey, look, you're lateral, you make good money, just come on. We're partners. And so we just hit the ground running.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
As an FTO,
wasn't stressful.
no. Yeah. As an FTO, I did that even though with
the
new
newbies.
people.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's already stressful enough,
There
right?
you go.
I mean, you don't know what the hell you're doing. Mm-hmm. You don't. I mean, especially if you're new.
Yeah.
You don't have any clue.
No idea.
Though you don't know this person from Adam that you're getting put in the car with, you know, and especially like somebody where they're like, oh, this guy's got 16 years, you know, or whatever the case may be, it makes them nervous. Mm-hmm. So I just let them do their thing. Now, obviously, I had a couple of days of observation where I did most of the work, especially first phase guys.
Yeah.
But then I just let them do their thing. They write reports the way they want to write reports. I don't try to I would make recommendations, but I didn't try to interject my way of doing, because everybody's got their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
So, and I think they learn more doing that way.
I was about to say it.
Yeah.
For me, you know, I was in his car and it was like, this is how you're supposed to train officers. You know, of course, we never had an issue with respect, but it was just, he was like, no, he goes, there's some things you just gonna get turned around about.
Yeah.
You know, and geography, oh my goodness. I said, which way are we going? You're kind of going westbound, but it's North Carrier. Like, you know, I just, I'm like, no. And he was like, you're going to get it. He goes, it's going to take a while. You're going to get it.
Yeah, because I actually think that was because we moved around, though. Mm-hmm. They moved us around, but
Different
we did work.
sectors.
I think early on we were in 11 beat up there.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of 11 beat, the day I almost died, I thought I was going to fall over.
Close to dying.
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to fall over, but I started having a panic attack. I'm going to let him tell you. This is
crazy. This is really crazy. Like, so it's raining, and we've been around eating muffins.
Yeah.
Because my wife obviously had made us some muffins, and we were riding around eating muffins. Mm-hmm. So, you know, crumbs all over us. It's rain. It's not raining bad. When we get that, you know, every call, hey, there's someone sitting on the bridge. They look like they may be going to jump. They're at Post and Paddock in 360.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we'll go. I guess head over there.
In your mind, you're always like, it's probably like a.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this is, this is crap or whatever. And so we roll up, and sure enough, man, there's a lady sitting on the edge of the bridge facing north. Mm-hmm. She's sitting on the edge of the bridge with her feet dangling over the highway. And I said, hey, just block the bridge. I'm going to see if I can talk to her. And I get within about, 30 yards of her just so I can talk to her, earshot of her. And I said, hey, can I talk to you? She climbs off of the rail and she's gone. Can't see her anymore.
Like so, the other side, I assume.
Hey, yes, off the side of the highway. So we can't see her anymore. And I
just said hi.
And I literally did. I'm like, apparently she didn't want to talk to me. So I run over to the rail, and I look over, and you know the little yellow sign that has the height of the bridge. Yeah. She's hanging from that by her fingertips. Oh. And cars, it's rush hour, and cars are just flying by underneath us.
Now, when he say flying 80, 90 miles an hour.
So I look at KD, and I'm like, hey, come on. And he like kind of looks at me. I'm like, get your ass over here.
So stop right there. So at first when he goes, hey, Katie, come here. You hear my handcuffs. And he's like, no, get your ass over here. And then you go.
He's running.
And I'm sprinting.
And quite honestly, at this moment, I'm really glad I had Katie and not somebody new. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't really even have to say anything other than, hey, we have to reach over and grab her.
Right.
And on the count of 3, he took a peek just to see. Count of 3, we reached over and each grabbed an arm. And as soon as we grabbed her, she let go.
And bro, when I tell you,
And she put her feet.
This is not best practices, by the way.
No, yeah, she put her feet up on the bridge and was
Stop us.
pulling. And we like sit down and our arms are hanging over and it's wet.
Right, yeah.
We're pulling and pulling. Finally, we get her over the rail and handcuffed. And I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, that's insane.
Because it's not, you think about it, it's like how many calls those you get through your career.
Yeah.
And nothing like that happens.
I never had it happen.
yeah.
And I literally said, hey, can I talk to you? And she's gone. Like I knew she hadn't fallen because we didn't hear cars crashing.
Yeah.
Down on but when I went over, she's literally dangling by her finger.
And I thought she was like walking on one of the ledges of the big
There was
green
no
sign.
ledge.
There was no ledge. So her fingers are like this, and we didn't say anything. So we just looked, and I mean, we both just lunged over. But as we started pulling, bro, she let go, and she's going, "Let me go, let me go." And I'm like, "No, no, no!" And I just start pulling. My silly self, I start looking at the cars coming. And then I just start hyperventilating. I'm starting to breathe hard, and he's just like, pull. And I'm like, I'm pulling. I'm
gonna
pulling.
let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
She fought us the whole way over that little concrete wall. So when we landed on the ground, all I could do was sit there. And that's when he was like, what just happened? And I'm just breathing. And I remember not saying nothing because now I'm just, that adrenaline is just going through me. And I'm like, I'm just breathing. I'm like, man, I could have fell over. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was...
Because she wasn't 100 pounds.
It's a big deal when you go from eating muffins to dragging somebody over the edge of a right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But we got a life-saving award for that
Yeah.
thing. So,
Jeez.
my one and only.
Yeah, me too.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's
That's what you got to do to get them, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those things. It's like we've all had those calls and we're like, yeah, whatever.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
And that was very much something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah. That was.
I think that was the only time he was like, get your ass over here. You cussed me out. It was funny because the first time it was like, I just started jogging, and he was like, no, get your ass over here. And I'm like,
Well, I was
go?
concerned because obviously it was wet, and I didn't know how much longer she was going to be able to.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's not
hang
going to be
on.
comfortable to
No,
hold on to.
no, because she's on that little thin piece of metal sign, and she's like
sure.
looking down, and but she did. About time we grabbed her, she just let go.
Let go. And she was like, it was because her girlfriend broke up with her. Mm-hmm. And I talked to her on the way to the hospital. I'm like, sweetie, go find another one.
Yeah.
Join the club, go find another one.
I was like, why didn't we have the mental health unit then?
I was trying to decide mentally if it was appropriate to make a joke about you probably not putting in for negotiator after that.
Yeah, no, I don't know that I've got that personality for sure.
I only know the one case, but I'd say probably not.
Well, I was going to say, we'll go into another call. Where were we? On I-30?
Oh, are you talking about the
Fort Worth chase somebody.
Oh yeah, that ended up being the barricaded person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, we ain't talking nobody out. But here's what's funny about this story. It was like January or something.
It wasn't even cold.
Bro, it's cold. Like I got a jacket on, a beanie, some gloves. I'm cold. So he was like, Katie, we're gonna take up position. I think Fort Worth, somebody was in front of us.
Yeah.
But they're talking to the guy. His truck had stalled. They chased him. But we're like the maybe third, fourth car. So we're not doing the talking. But Bowen turns around and he sees me like this.
He's laying on the hood.
I'm laying
where
on the
it's
hood.
warm.
And so we're
I'm like, what are you doing?
He's like, Katie, what are you doing?
Cut out.
I said, bro, I'm cold. And the heat is helping me stay warm. So I'm like this.
He's laying like with his face on the hood. And I'm like, man.
Your DOR.
Be serious.
I'm like, you failed today.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, it's cold. I'm just failing. Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then, like, some of the words, bro, like, we be in the car, and he's like, yeah, that person's acting like a buffoon. And I'm like, oh, what the hell is a buffoon? They're acting like an idiot. Sir, don't be a buffoon. I'm like, bro, he may get offended. I don't even know what a buffoon is, but this suspect gonna get offended.
Yeah, I have words for things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of growing up in the country.
Yeah, country talk is a lot different.
Yeah, you learn a lot of that stuff from your girl. Like I learned a lot of just that vernacular and verbiage from my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all country stuff. They call things things that
seemingly random.
Seemingly random things that are just you're like, what?
Yeah, we're on a call. I won't go too deep in the woods, but we're on a call, and he's like, "KD, there's a squirrel in there on the bed." I'm like, I run in the room actually looking for animals. I'm like, okay, if that squirrel pops out, I'm running. Yeah.
It wasn't a real squirrel.
Yeah, it wasn't a real squirrel. So we'll leave that there.
At least not with a brain kind of.
Yeah. Not the small woodland creature.
Oh man.
Replica.
All right, so like now, your job now, you are what we call red tab or motors.
Yes.
Do y'all hate the term motor jock?
No. I don't really care. I don't care what people call me.
Yeah.
I hope not, 'cause you probably.
Yeah,
I mean, get hell a lot.
You know, I don't care what people call me.
All right. We'll talk about so I'm not should we say day to day, but not really. On a regular day, what are you doing as a motor officer?
I mean, traffic enforcement. It's mainly that and working accidents. That's basically it. It's not a lifestyle that's very glamorous.
But see, I don't know. There's something cool about riding a motorcycle.
Oh, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In my 21 years, I've been on motors for 7.5 now.
Yeah.
Because I got on motors in 2016 here.
Yeah.
And it's been the best gig I've had. I mean, the hours are great.
Yeah.
You get a motorcycle you get to take home. Kind of you're out and about. But it's super hot in the summer and it's super cold in the winter.
I was talking to Chief Sleva about it one time, and we're back when he was a sergeant. He's like, you literally get paid a decent amount of money to ride a motorcycle a day. He's like, there's nothing better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I guess technically I wanted to do it. I had always had an idea. I used to ride, and then I hadn't ridden a motorcycle in like 3 years when I got on motors. Yeah. But it's by far the hardest school I've ever been to.
I was about to ask that. I've always heard that motors and mounted are the two hardest schools.
I mean, I've done SWAT school like 3 times and nothing on it. Well, motors, I literally thought I was going to fail motors.
Well, okay, bike school is the hardest school ever. Just put that out there. And that bike is only 20 pounds.
We'll agree to disagree. So like the third day of motor school, I had probably dropped my motorcycle what seemed to feel like about 200 times. And I had to
doing what? I mean, I'm just like
like to qualify to be on motor, you have to do and negotiate these cone patterns that are set up by. Used to it was Northwestern, like Northwestern University had like a curriculum for motors instructors or for motors, and you have to learn these courses, and then you get tested on them at the end of the 2 weeks. It's a 2-week school. Yeah, 2-week school. And then you have to be tested on them at the end, and you have to pass with certain grade or whatever like that. But it's all at slow speed, so until you learn how to handle the throttle and clutch and all that stuff, it's hard. You can't make the turns without fall. Like you just fall over, and then you have to pick that 1,000-pound bike up over and over and over.
Yeah, it would get exhausting.
Yeah, so
it's exhausting doing it with a bicycle.
Yeah, my first week on motors was the first week after all the Dallas officers were shot. In 2016.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you get to
so I did escorts. I did escorts for the first week on motors.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was pure terror.
I bet. Those
like,
things
going 100. Yeah, like they're like, hey, stay with us. I was like, we were with Chris and Bo and whatever. And we block an intersection. And I'm going past this procession that's long. I mean, it's miles and miles long.
Yeah.
And I'm running like when you get on motors, you don't get like the best of the equipment. Like your bike's good, but it's older and whatever. Yeah, you're the new guy. So I had like a 2012 motorcycle. Now I'm like going like 110 down. I think it's loop 12 or whatever. And all of a sudden I get like the front end wobble.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, ooh, throttle off.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, it scared me. It did. I mean, it scared me. But because I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing. I just have no clue as to what I'm doing. So that was a rough week. It's emotionally rough for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And then mentally rough for us because we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
We're doing things that we're not familiar with. Plus, we're still new to even riding the motorcycle.
Right. Well, and you're coordinating with those other departments too.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know how y'all do it. I've actually always wondered, like, if you share radio channels or if it's just they kind of delineate what your area of responsibility is, and you don't really worry about anything else.
Yeah, on those, we kind of knew what we were supposed to do. But we do have the ability to coordinate sometimes with other agencies on different radio channels and whatnot. So it's not too bad. I mean, now it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
To do them now, it's no big deal. But I mean, I've been in a couple of chases on the motorcycle.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember whose chase it was. Maybe in Scott's. I watched a chase on a motorcycle one time. Had just body cam wise. There's no dash cam.
Yeah.
And man, it was. You think some of the car chases are scary?
Yeah.
Those chases are scary.
They're scary. They're scary. I mean, you think about everything that's going on inside of a Tahoe.
Yeah.
When you're in a chase, radio. That's about it. Radio, brake. I mean, you don't have. I got a clutch. I got a front brake. I got a rear brake. I got to work the siren. I got to work the radio with a thumb button. I got to work. I got all this stuff going on a motorcycle. So I always tell myself I'm not going to do it, but then when somebody runs from me, I have this pride thing, and I'm like, "You're not running from me," you know. And then I.
Well,
do it,
you also have
and I'm
that
like,
cop thing where you're like, you're not just speeding and running.
Yeah.
It's like there's something
Yeah.
bad's going
There's a
on.
reason.
Yeah, and then you just get that thing, and you're like, that was stupid. You know, when it's all over, you're like, why'd you do that? Because there's, obviously scary times during that. So.
Well, yeah, because I mean, on top of everything that you're doing, the stakes are so much greater because
You don't have the.
I have no
comfort zone.
protection.
Yeah, you have no protection around
If you make
you.
a mistake, I mean, let's say you're dead, but you're not not in good shape. At
Very,
least.
very, very much in a bad way, probably.
Well, I imagine the roadway itself is so much more a factor for you than as in a Tahoe. I mean, like if I'm going real fast and chasing a Tahoe, and it's like I realize I'm coming to a rough patch, like it's kind of brace for a second, maybe let off the gas, and you're good. For y'all, that could be
Dips in the road,
yeah.
anything, especially on residential streets and stuff like that. I mean, it could be catastrophic. Just because. But so we try not to do it.
We try not.
We try not to, and obviously, it's basically required that once a Tahoe gets there, that they get in the front, which I'm okay. I'm 100% okay with that.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. The chases being what they are, you're chasing people that are committing a felony right then. Oftentimes, they're convicted felons. It's not uncommon for them to be armed, wanted, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That situation turns into a shooting once the person crashes. It's kind of hard to hide behind a bike, I imagine.
Yeah. We have no. I mean, it's just
But in
kind of out
y'all's
there.
training, y'all get to shoot from your bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're moving?
No, we learned to shoot sitting on it, and then we obviously learned to shoot from positions that best give us the best cover.
See, so you should take the bike class because you can shoot while you're on the bike.
They actually have us shoot, like we roll real slow and shoot, but I mean, I
You
don't
made it
think
sound like
that's-
that was like between beers.
it's just kind of like everything else is like we're not supposed to shoot from a moving vehicle, so
know.
like,
Right, yeah.
blah blah blah. But
Nowadays, they.
If you find yourself doing that, after your day is gone.
yeah,
Very, very
yeah,
poorly.
Very
we're not
bad.
DPS, so but yeah, I mean, motors has been good, but
Do you ever? Because in my mind, the way everyone just talks trash about motorcycle cops, I imagine y'all get a lot of hell on a day to day. Does that get old?
yeah, I mean, I would say it just kind of comes and goes in waves, like for the most part. I mean, most part people are okay,
Yeah.
but you know,
because
you
they
get,
know what they doing. Like I don't understand.
well, but
You
you
know
know,
you're speeding.
you know
Oh,
how it
speeding.
is. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you people that the one person you don't expect
Yeah.
to give you the old butt chewing is the one that will, and you're just kind of caught off guard.
So do you get the stops where they just kind of know they getting a ticket, but they start flirting and doing all this other stuff and
Not really.
yeah.
No. I don't. I mean, no. I don't get. No, I can't recall any that I've had.
Yeah.
Man,
Like that.
I don't work it like I used to. Although with the way everybody's grabbing up extra jobs, I'm gonna have to start working it again. But I used to work step quite a bit, and I was amazed. That was my one hesitation in doing it. Was like, I don't want to be that cop. First of all, it's just a ticket guy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't want to have to deal with people just being jerks to me all day. Put me in a
Yeah.
bad mood. And I was amazed that whenever you did at least speed enforcement, like you're not being that cop. Like you can give such a wild, like I think 20, 25 is like my threshold. And you don't have to hunt for it at all. People just
people
and
fly.
when you pull them over, they're like, I've had probably 2 or 3 negative interactions the whole time I've done it.
Yeah.
And those people were just determined that they were just going to.
Yeah. Well, and normally, like, I'm pretty lenient. 15
Yeah.
is usually my deal on speed. So, I mean, I'm pretty lenient for what?
Yeah.
Unless it's a school zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one time where I pulled a guy over he was doing 10 or 15 over in the schools, and it was like drastic. I mean, he was flying by other people. Because and this is on patrol, because I'll be, especially if I'm on patrol, I'll be pretty, I have other stuff I can be doing as well.
Yeah.
But he was like flying by people. It clearly was obvious. But I pulled him over, and I had my ticket writer in my hand. And I said, you're doing 15 over in the school zone or whatever. And as soon as I scanned his car, he's like, "Oh, are you serious?" It's like, am I serious? Like, of all the people, like, you're the 15 over in a school zone. I was like, that's the one time you're supposed to get a ticket. Like, if you give me a ticket, I'm not even mad about it. Like, that sucks, but.
Yeah. There's always those ones that are going to complain about whatever, but. I think it does stink because it's expensive.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, I get it. I understand where they're coming from. And now, in today's times, I mean, hell, everything's more. So it's, but it's not my fault. You did it to yourself.
Listen, at the end of the day, if you speeding, own it. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Own
yeah.
it. Sir,
100%.
here's your ticket. So, patrol, like, if I'm working, can I pace somebody and give them a speeding ticket based on that?
Yeah.
All right. I think
Do
I
you
will.
want?
I think I will.
The random questions
Yeah,
you ask.
I think I will.
You can.
Oh, I call Bowen all the time. I'll call his cell phone. Hey, I got a question, like parking and speeding and everything. Yeah. But when you give it, you have to notate. It's something specific, like maybe a street before or something, or you have to put a side street or the street. It's something, I don't know. I haven't wrote any speeding
Yeah, I mean,
tickets
kind of
lately.
the way they do it is like a fixed object where you pass that and you're at the same speed, and then you pass another fixed object. And as long as like the time distance between you and that fixed object is the same after several of them, you just kind of use that as the pace speed.
See, that's where I was at accounting and all those numbers.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
On the accident investigation side, I imagine some of your accounting, or not, I guess you're being good with numbers. I guess.
Yeah,
makes you good at
those formulas are so convoluted. I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
That it's like it's a perishable skill because we don't have a ton of fatalities and things that we have to rework and reconstruct and things like that. So it is a perishable skill. So like every time something happens, and I got to go, okay, I got to go back and look at the book just to get the formula or whatever. Right. But yeah, I mean, it does help having a decent ability to do math. Yeah. Because there is a lot of math when it comes down. But we can do it with calculators too, so it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'm out.
So what's your primary role as an accident investigator? I mean, what's your, by and large, what are you focused on?
Where everybody that's in the traffic unit, traffic division, and then that includes like CMV and the detectives, we all have to be a reconstructionist, AIs. Mm-hmm. So we get called out for any fleets. We work mainly, a lot of what we do work is fleet accidents because they're required to have AI. Obviously fatalities and serious bodily injury accidents, stuff like that. Yep. The basic accident, you don't use any of that stuff for a basic crash report or whatever. But
you show up on the freeway and it's just a hunk of metal and mesh. And like, where do you start? Cause I look at that because my first thing is like, can we call an AI? Like,
that's where we start. We're like,
well, hey, it's funny because we have this little saying between us. It's like, hey, if you don't know what happened, call us. If you do know what happened, you can do it yourself. You know, kind of one of those things.
We still call it.
So I mean, you just kind of start to work back from it, and try to figure out. You know what? Sometimes you can't. I mean, sometimes
I was going to say that
because
I've worked accidents in patrol where I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is probably what happened. And I talk to the first driver and they explain it. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. And I talk to the other driver and I'm like, no, this happened. And I'm like, I kind of see it either way.
You kind of have to just take what you got and use your best educated guess. Because I mean, people think we determine who's at fault, but we really don't. We really kind of determine the contributing factors.
Gotcha.
Which a lot of times that does lead to who's at fault.
Yeah.
But
if contributing factor like, hey, I was drunk or on my phone.
Yeah,
like,
but with today's times, I mean, we have a lot of intersection cameras and, especially with our Tahoes, if it's a fleet accident, we usually have dash cam or something like that. So it does help a lot of times to know, so we're not having to rack our brains. Plus, we have the ability to like pull like the airbag modules, the crash data collectors, and download those, and it'll tell us how fast they were going, how much acceleration they're using, how much braking they're using, if they have a seatbelt on.
That just for squad cars?
Yeah. No, that's for all cars.
How can I take that out of my personal truck?
So
no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, for the most part, we just get called out and just kind of put things together and map it. We have a laser mapping system that kind of does its own thing.
Right.
There are some that are super detailed. What gets detailed is when you get back to the office and you try to start reworking time and distance formulas and things like that, where if this guy was turning and this guy was going the speed limit, would this guy have had time to make the turn, but he didn't, he got T-boned, so was this guy going too fast?
Right.
That's when you start using time, and that's when the math comes in.
So literally, we could be looking at charges based on your math. Mm-hmm. You're a very important person.
Well, thank you.
I like it.
I feel that way about myself.
Yeah. So do you get calls from insurance companies all the time?
Hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss.
Oh.
And depositions, we get called for depositions and stuff like that for accident, because then one person will sue another person.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And we do if you think about it, an accident is the only thing that we do here that is a civil issue.
Yeah.
It's 100% civil unless we do a criminal charge.
Oh, okay.
And normally we don't take reports for civil issues.
True.
But an accident is the one thing that we do as a cop that's a civil issue between two people.
So two people have a minor accident, and we see the notes. Oh, one doesn't want to give the insurance driver's license. Like he just didn't. Nope, you ain't getting nothing.
Yeah,
that's so maddening.
It is.
Well, when you show up to that, what are you saying and doing?
Give it to them.
Or
it's just
it's still civil though.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like, okay.
Yeah, it's like you made me come all the way over here when it's something you could have dealt with.
Yeah.
On your own because you don't want to give them your insurance. Well, I want to report. Well, the information that you don't want to give them, they're going to get off the report. So just give them. Yeah. They think automatically that they have to have a report, and they don't.
Well, they think the reports hold more weight than what they do.
Yeah, they do.
They think that if they can convince you on the street that something happened, you're going to put in a report and say, hey, this is the good guy. This is the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not
no, because I tell them, I put what you tell me, and I put what you tell me, and then that's what goes in the report, and that's
your
it.
Your insurance is going to figure it out.
Yeah, we don't. It's accidents are a bane of my existence.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
But y'all make it seem so easy. Like, y'all can show up and then you can do it and put it in the system.
I don't mind the ones, but it's just the bickering and the ones that can be taken care of that end up getting drawn out because of stuff we were just talking about. So, but for the most part, I would rather just be able, because when I came on motors, we only work majors. Mm-hmm. When I came to motors, we only work majors.
Oh, y'all work normal accidents now?
Yeah, we work every accident now.
Well,
shut up.
You can.
You can go back to patrol tomorrow.
I know.
We work pretty much every accident now unless we're tied up. But we worked to majors and then wrote tickets. And that's all we did.
You know why that changed? This guy.
Yeah, probably. Thank you.
They would send me to an accident, bro. It would take me like 2 hours to put it in the crash system.
It's the easiest report we do. It's the easiest report we do.
You get to draw, change the colors.
Yeah, you can put a bush right there. I don't know how to put a bush right there, man. The car was in lane 2. Well, create lane 3 and a turn lane. I don't know how to make a turn lane. He wasn't in the turn lane.
That's the easiest report you do.
I beg to differ.
Well,
I had to call y'all for a unneeded civil issue one time. I feel like a complete. I was leaving a call on a abandoned street during work hours, and I don't know why I did it this way, but instead of just leaving this way and making like the block to go back to where I was going to go, I decided to put it in reverse and see how fast I could back into a giant stone mailbox.
Oh, nice.
In like 15 feet.
Yeah. We don't like those accidents either.
Yeah. I did it, and I was like, oh, somebody hit me. I didn't think there was anybody out here. And I looked at all my mirrors, and there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
I hopped out of the car, and I was like, God, I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Only at fault in accident in my life.
I mean, we drive for a living. It's going to happen.
But it was, I wish I could remember, it was one of the motors guys that showed up. And he just showed up, hopped out. He's like, looks at me, looks at the car, kind of looks at the street. He's like, what happened?
Yeah, I probably would have been, how'd you manage this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so before we get out of here, give me an interesting accident.
No. Hang on. We're good. So normally we like to hear about embarrassing things about the guys who are coming in here. Mm-hmm. I want to hear an embarrassing thing about him because you were his FTO.
What?
I don't.
Go ahead. I know where you're going.
No, I really don't have.
Bam.
Shut up.
I really don't have one. I have one about Stout.
Oh, okay.
I hear that one.
Because I trained Stout too.
Yeah.
I was told that he was a really good driver.
Yeah.
And like the very first night he's with me, he makes his very first traffic stop or whatever. It's like phase 2 or whatever. We're on nights, and the car runs from us. Like we get out of the car and go walk up, and it takes off.
That.
So we run back and get in the car, and I'm in the passenger seat obviously, and I'm like, just go. I'll work the radio. I'll call the pursuit, whatever. Just drive. And we're going down Jefferson, east on Jefferson, and he, I don't know what happened. I saw the car turn at Beltline. I don't know if he did or what. I'm like, he turned, and we're still hauling straight. I'm like, he turned, and like, he effing turned right now. And he starts turning, and he's like plowing, because it's like, smashes the curb, bam, hits the curb, goes up on the curb. And I'm like, just go. The tire's not flat, I don't think. Just go. Yeah. So we go, and it gets up to like 60, and the steering wheel is like,
No.
just wobbling. And I'm like, just keep going until somebody gets in the chase with us. Yeah. So anyway, somebody finally got in, and we got out. I mean, he just bent the rim. Yeah. But, of course, I'm like, I thought you could drive.
Right.
You said of course, I say, my story is he told me he was a good driver. He says somebody else said he was a good driver. But anyway, I think that, but I really don't have any funny stories about you. Yeah. Not from FTO, really.
Yeah. No, I remember a funny, call. We were up at Palace Parkway at a motel or a hotel, one of those up there. And this guy's in the driver's seat, but he has one shoe on. I don't know if you remember this.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah. And so Bowen is like, Katie, see what's up with that driver, man. He's got, in his Stephenville voice, man, that guy's got one boot on. And I was like, what? And so I walk up, and I'm just talking to the dude. I'm like, hey, bro, where's your shoe? I always drive one shoe on, one shoe off. And so by this time, Bowen's on the other side going,
maybe not.
Yeah, and so long story short, we ended up pulling him out. Well, I don't know if the gun was under the...
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, like he was trying to hide a gun or something up under there. And so we asked him to step out. Yeah, and anyway, we ended up going to jail with him, and we laughed the whole time. He was like, hell,
I still don't know why he had one boot on.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the gun?
I think he was just trying to cover up the gun.
I don't know what he was. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, but it just had both of us baffled. Like we're both just staring at like, and then Stephenville, man, I don't know why he would drive with that one damn shoe on, and I'm like, bro, neither do I. But he's in the back seat going to jail.
I mean. Don't make fun of my voice. You're from Lufkin.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're from Lufkin.
True, so you got me beat, bro.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the sticks.
I love it, though.
I grew up in the sticks on the ranch and the farm and the...
Yeah, all 400 people.
Oh, sorry,
450.
Yeah, 450.
Yeah, 450. Let's not forget that.
Did
50.
y'all have a Subway or Dairy Queen or McDonald's?
We had nothing. We had a convenience
Dairy
store.
Queen.
We didn't have the Texas stop sign, yeah. The Dairy Queen.
Dang.
Yeah, so like when I was a kid, we had one grocery store that was owned by a family, but that's about it.
Yeah, don't piss off that family. We're leaving. No, we
Yeah,
gotta
they
drive out
left.
there.
I don't know what happened. They left, and so. But I left there after I graduated, and I've never been back.
You
really?
haven't?
I mean, I've been back like
Yeah.
periodically, but it's been. I bet I haven't been to Blum in 20 plus years.
Oh, okay. You should just go.
I mean, I still got friends that live there. Some bunch of my friends stayed.
Yeah.
You know.
You should y'all take your wife. Y'all go down there.
Yeah. Well, there ain't a whole lot there.
Maybe not.
Their
I would-
friends are there.
Well, so like I'm not a fan of the city
And neither
as
am
it
I.
comes
Yeah.
to living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, once
Mm-hmm.
living in the city.
Dude, I was
But-
driving home and there's freaking knocked down more trees and they're building townhomes and there's
Yeah.
a new stoplight. It's like sitting in traffic like right by my house.
Yeah, I mean, I always said that growing up, helping my grandfather do cows and fencing and all that stuff. And I think more now it's because he was hard on me, so it made me not want to have anything to do with that lifestyle once I got away from it.
Yeah.
It's like every grandfather. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, don't do it that way. Do it this way. Whatever. So I had that a bunch, and then I swore I would never want to have cows, horses, anything ever again. And now all I want to do is go get some land somewhere and get horses. And
And call me over and eat muffins.
yeah,
and
and
ride
then
horses.
my wife thinks I'm crazy because I want to start team roping, which is weird.
Yeah.
She's like, you've never, and I'm like, yeah, well, I messed around with it and was around it when I was younger and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
now,
I do it with you. We'd be salt and pepper. Team
We
roping.
keep saying we're gonna ride bulls.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
The family
Yeah.
have yet to do that.
do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is it out in Stephenville?
No, it's in Mansfield.
Man,
What? Where at?
Nap J.
Oh,
JC
yeah,
Nap? yeah.
Yeah, the guy that owns the he does stock contractor. Is that the guy? you're talking
Maybe I don't know.
well, you got to put them pool noodles on the bull horns for me. 'Cause I don't want to hit one of
about?
them.
Wear a helmet.
I'm gonna wear a helmet and shoulder pads. I don't want to get hurt. I just want to do it. Yeah,
Have you ever rode a horse?
all the time.
When?
Oh, in Lufkin, I've been to Benbrook. And
Oh, rode a stable. I meant like
not when.
really rode a horse, not like walking on the
Oh
trails.
yeah, no. In Lufkin was
Like
last
if
time
a
I
horse
got-
ran fast, would you fall off?
Oh no. But I
See, I don't know.
Goldie
It's
was
been
running
since
so fast.
I was young.
I was crying sideways. She was going that fast. Like my tears were over my
Yeah.
ears, and I was just holding on.
I mean, that's a big animal.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
I'm scared of them, but I love
My
them.
only issues now is I just don't have anywhere to keep one. Because my cousins rope. They have an arena down in my hometown,
Yeah,
and
and blonde.
one of my cousins just won like last April in Fort Worth, won like $30,000 at a big roping.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Golly.
So
And then you can buy one of those show steers,
no, I
fluff
did
them
that.
up, and then sell it for $200,000.
Yeah, I did that. Cows are not smart animals. They're not.
Who would expect them to be smart animals?
I mean, you can train them to do the
Stuff.
things, but it takes a while, and they're
Yeah.
not.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Hell, I'm scared to go to the stockyards and take a picture on the bull or whatever with the horns. You step
Why?
up and take a picture because it may take out running. I have to jump off.
You mean the fake one?
No, the real one.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got a saddle on it and everything.
oh yeah,
I'm
the
like,
one,
yeah.
the big longhorn.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Nah.
didn't know you could saddle them things. Yeah,
Yeah.
get on up there, take a picture. That'd be
Hey,
$8.
so when they start up the department sponsored mounting unit, are you gonna get on it?
I'd be
Are you?
scared.
That'd
every
be
day.
cool.
Yeah,
It would be
Depending
fun.
on what kind of horses they got, because I know like the ones in Dallas those are
man, those are like
Tanks.
17 hands tall. It's like
They're big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
I mean-
I'll be on a pony.
Yeah, the pony. Well, yeah. So I mean, you got to think horses are huge animals. They're very powerful.
Yeah.
So
I got to see a mounted unit respond like 3 or 4 deep to a shooting in an apartment complex and then get in a foot chase with the suspect. It was one of the wildest things I've seen.
Oh, we'd have to talk about that one day. I would want to see it. And
Which I could see, like, the mountain unit stuff being pretty, just because they're in such, like, populated areas.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously have to have a certain type of temperament horse to be able to to deal with that. You don't want one that's crazy.
A certain temperament rider, too.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't work well.
No?
I'm full steam ahead. You get my way, my horse is running you over. And that's just walking in the parade.
That's bad. That's bad for like the cops
just
and
go,
kids
whoa.
and shoes.
Yeah, whoa.
Whoa, make it stop.
No, that's a song, my brother. We start hollering, whoa, we gonna start jamming. Hey. Okay.
All right, let's shut this down.
Yeah, we'll go way off in the weeds, I promise.
Well, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
It was
no doubt.
a good time.
Yes, so until next time.